Let me ask you a question. How confident are you in writing emails to your email list? Because truth be told, if you're unsure, if you're doubting yourself, you don't know what to write or how to put your own spin on it, I promise you it's going to show up in the emails that you're writing. Well, friend, today you're in luck because we are going to dive deep into email etiquette. I'm going to show you how to write emails you can send with confidence, the key to click-worthy headlines, how your emails can look like eye candy, and my C.A.R method to develop your personal writing style. And if this is your first time meeting me over here on the tube, on my channel, welcome. My name is Jen Johnson. I am a high-performance Christian business coach. And on this channel, we talk all about how to lead like Jesus, turn your purpose into profit, creating content and digital products. So be sure to subscribe, like, hit the bell, do all the things so you do not miss a single video in this series, plus the very special bonus that I have for you at the end of this video to show you how to launch your list in less than 60 minutes. So let's dive in. Writing to your list can be scary, especially in the beginning when you're just getting started, because it's you and the reader one-on-one. There's not all the distractions that people have on social media when they're reading your posts or your content. There's nothing else for them to click on. If they've clicked on your email, that's what they're reading. So you might feel this extra pressure. And of course, you want to just leave a good impression, create quality content that gets your audience saying yes to your offers. Now, I have some really good news for you. You do not have to be an English scholar to write emails to your list. You do not have to be a best-selling book author to write emails to your list. You are going to ditch all the proper English and formalities when you're writing to your list. Can we just go... Now, as I mentioned, you do not want to miss a single episode in this series if you're serious about diving deep into email marketing. So if you missed the very first episode on why the heck email marketing matters in 2020 in the first place, be sure to check that out up top here, because it's imperative that you understand why you're doing what you're doing and set the proper intentions. 80% is mindset, 20% is mechanics, so we want to make sure we got your head right. All right, first things first, my 3-step C.A.R method. Your copy is the C.A.R that will turn your follower into a buyer. So let's talk about what each letter stands for so you can better understand this method. The C stands for clarity. When you're writing to your list, you want to be clear. And when I say clear, I mean a third grader could understand what you're reading. You want to break it down, keep it simple. Don't try to get all fancy schmancy with the most smarty pants words on the planet. You just want to write like you talk. You know what I'm saying? Not,
do you know what I'm saying?
We don't want to sound like Siri. I mean, I love Siri, but I don't want to sound like her. She sounds like a robot. I know the word copywriting can be very intimidating and scary, but the honest truth is that you're just taking your thoughts and putting them into text. And the coolest thing is there's actually a feature on your phone for that. You can actually talk into your phone and it will transcribe what you're saying. So if you are struggling to sit at your computer and start typing it out, just talk what you're wanting to say into your phone on your notes, and you can always copy and paste it into your autoresponder. The A stands for authentic. You want to be you. Look, you're not writing an email as a proposal you're drawing up to become a partner at a law firm. You're writing as if you're talking to your BFF. So be you, be authentic, use the actual lingo that you would use if you were having a conversation on the couch. And ditch the formal writing. Start your sentences with a but or an and ditch the I am for the I'm, the you are for the you're, the they are for the they're. Get a little messy in your writing because we're a little messy with the way that we talk. The R stands for relatable. Do you ever go to church or you've ever been to an event where the pastor or the person speaking literally is talking to you and you're thinking,
oh my gosh, did this person read my journal last night? Because I swear they're totally talking directly to me.
Let your audience know you get where they're at. You can empathize with them. You can tell stories with them that they would totally relate to. And make sure when you are writing it out, you're not writing about the both of you or as the entire list as a whole. You want to make sure you're saying you, your, yours versus us, we, ours. It's not about you. It's not about the entire group. It's about that one reader that is reading the email in front of them. Now, next up, I want to talk to you about how to create click-worthy subject lines. It's crucial that you create subject lines that get your reader to click on your email so they actually read it. Now, I could do an entire video around subject lines, and I could do that in the near future, but today I just want to give you a couple of tips to get you going to create stellar subject lines. So the first two things that you could do is you could create subject lines that ask your reader a question. And you can also create subject lines that have your reader asking a question in their mind that makes them want to click to find out the answer. Let me give you some examples.
Why haven't I lost weight yet? Why is my social media engagement tanking? 2 tips to drop 2 pant sizes. 3 reasons engagement is dramatically decreasing. So notice how the first 2 subject lines ask a question that get your reader going, yeah, why haven't I lost weight? Or why is my social media engagement tanking? And then the second 2 subject lines get your reader asking a question in their mind. How do I drop 2 pant sizes with 2 tips? Or what are the 3 reasons my engagement is dramatically decreasing?
So it makes people want to click on that email to figure out what the answer or the solution is. Another great way to set up stellar subject lines is by just putting how-tos in the subject line. If you're going to teach your audience how to do something, you can put that in the subject line so they go, yeah, I want to learn how to do that, and click on the actual email. So as an example,
how to launch your list in less than 60 minutes.
That is a real thing that we're doing at the end of this video, just as a reminder. But do you see how that entices to say, yeah, how do I launch my list in less than 60 minutes? Because I know you, the reader, the viewer, is thinking, gosh, it's going to take forever for me to set up my email list, the tech, the know-how, and it gives more stress. And I promise you've probably spent more time stressing about how to set up a list than actually it takes to set one up. So that subject line is a really catchy way for me to grab your attention so that you and I can set up launching your list together. Another great one would be how to sell while you're on vacation. Yeah, teach me how. How can I sell while I'm on vacation? Think of the things that your audience really wants to learn, show them how to do it and what the benefit of learning that would be. And if you could turn that into a subject line, you're golden. Now I want to give you some rapid fire tips on how to make your emails look good, because the messaging is important, but so is making it reader friendly. You want it to be candy to the eye. Make it simple. Really do some things that are going to allow your reader to be able to legibly read it from their phone, read it from their computer, so that way it's not strenuous on the eye. It's actually attracting them to keep reading. So eye candy tip number 1, space out your messaging in the email. You do not want chunky monkey paragraphs that are going to be too big and bulky for your reader to read, especially when they're on their phone. The more you could space it out, the better. You can have sentences, maybe 1 or 2 sentences, then break it up. And then you can have bullet points and break it up. You want to make this very pleasing to the eye so that way you're grabbing attention. Tip number 2, fonts and text size matters. So you want to make sure, again, you're breaking up the font that you're using and the text size. I typically go font point 15 because I want people to be able to read it. I don't want it to be so tiny where they got to go search for their glasses and it's becoming a challenge. And you also want to actually create different size text. Sometimes I'll put a specific line at font size 18 and create a bold italicized section, and make sure you're highlighting the very important aspects of the email by using the text and fonts features.
Next up is calls to action. You most definitely, absolutely want to have a call to action in all of your emails, because this tells your reader what you want them to do next. So maybe you want them to go to a masterclass, or you want them to check out your most recent content piece that you've created. You want to make sure this is the piece that you're hyperlinking so you can have them go directly to your next step. Do not miss this piece, and be sure you're bolding, you're underlining, and you're making this very obvious to your reader. Now, the way that you're going to hyperlink, because I do get this question often, is when you're in your email, you're going to type out the words that you want to be said, that you want them to click on. You're going to highlight that text, and then you're going to go up to the little link in the top of the email where the menu bar is, and click on that. Once you're there, it's going to bring up a menu that is going to allow you to type in whatever website that you want to direct your reader to. Once you do that, you hit OK, and it should now turn into a hyperlink. Then you're going to go up to the right-hand corner or wherever it is on your autoresponder and preview that actual email, and be sure that you are testing that link to make sure that it's going to the actual website that you want it to go to.
Now, I know some people wonder, should I add graphics to my emails? Should I not? You definitely can add graphics. This is not something I would go completely crazy with. I'll typically add one graphic example for when I put out a new YouTube video, and then I'll have my picture in the signature line. Or I know some people like to use GIFs inside of their emails to make that fun. But just beware when you're actually using graphics that you test it out and make sure that it's not going into the promotions folder, because it's more important that your email lands in your reader's inbox than it looking super fancy dancy and then it landing in their promotions folder and then they never see it. And the best way to know if it's actually landing in the inbox is by sending yourself a test email. So after you're done writing your email, you can go in, send yourself a test, and make sure it's actually landing in your inbox. Now, lastly, but this is very, very, very important, do not, promise me, do not skip this step. When you're done setting up your email and it looks good and it sounds good, read your email out loud before you send it. You get to read it out loud to yourself. You want to step into the viewpoint of your reader and read it out loud, because you're going to then know if you sound like a robot or if you sound like yourself, and it will allow you to tweak things. Maybe you come across a typo or you need to add a comma somewhere. You just want to take an extra minute to read it out loud. Then you can send it with confidence. Now, I do have a bonus tip for you here, because I get this question all the time. How often should I write to my list? It's really up to you, but I highly suggest bare minimum 1 time a week. If you really want to hone your skill as a writer and get connected with your list, I would heavily advise that you start writing 3 to 5 times a week. Now, something that I want you to keep in mind is you want to make this decision early on. And what I suggest is, if you really want to write frequently, but you feel like you don't have the capacity to do that yet, I encourage you to just start writing a lot in the beginning. Because if you start writing 1 email a week and then you're like, oh, I'm getting the hang of this, now I want to write to my list all the time, you've already trained your list that you're writing once a week, and now it can really set off a signal to them like, oh my gosh, now they're just writing too many emails. Versus if you just are writing consistently in the beginning and you get them into that routine in the beginning, they'll be used to receiving your emails more frequently. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video and in the middle of this video, I'm gonna say it again, it's time for you to launch your list. If you do not have an email marketing system set up in place, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that in less than 60 minutes. You're gonna know the tools you need to use, how to get them talking to each other, how to start generating the leads to your list so you can start building a quality tribe, and you're gonna have access to this entire training series so that way you can start taking the tips that I am sharing with you here and applying them so you can become a consistent, confident writer and email marketer. So definitely head down to the description below to go sign up for the Launch Your List video marketing series, and I cannot wait to see you over there. And you're definitely gonna wanna subscribe, like, hit the bell, because next week we're gonna be diving into what the heck you should be writing to your email list. This is such a popular question, and we can do a deep dive into the different types of things you could be writing to your email list. So again, it's creating that new level of confidence for you to go out there and crush email marketing. So until next time, friend, remember to keep the faith and impact the world. God bless, and I will see you soon.